welcome to another episode here on the Modded Let's Play. Today we are starting off behind the sugarcane farm that was built in the last episode, and the reason is because I wanted to show a little bit of a contraption that I made, because this is sort of connecting to today's episode. And you can see here that I've planted cocoa beans, and that's because I want the cocoa beans to make more of them to make brown dye, because this is, as of the moment, I think the only way to get brown dye. So that's why I wanted to start off with a small thing here to make it work. We don't have any fully grown yet, so I don't want to push this, but I can show you how it works either way. So here we have a lever that's connected to all these three pistons that pushes everything out there. And what I've then done is that I put a observer here looking into this block, so when it updates, for example when the piston pushes that sends a signal, and that signal goes into a similar contraption over here where we have three pistons as well. So when I push it over there, it pushes everything up here, and then when I release that lever, this gets connected, released, so it pushes it back, so everything gets where it should be, so I can just plant new stuff. And like I said, I don't want to use that before I have fully grown cocoa beans on here, so I can maybe demonstrate it at a later time. But what we need for today's episode are brown dye, because I wanted to get a little bit of more colors, and I've been to a flower biome very far away from here to get all the different dyes from the flowers there. But I've also started gathering up other things, because today's episode is going to focus on these little critters, the sheeps. I need wool, and I want to make it a lot more efficient by making it a farm where the sheep can sort of shear themselves instead. And I've also recently gotten my iron farm to work at a pretty good rate, so I have enough iron now to spare to make scissors and so forth, or shears rather. So today's episode is going to focus on making a sheep farm, and I've already started by planning out everything. So we will have two sort of rows for each unit, and then we will have redstone in the middle here. And I've already gathered up everything that I will need. So we have our redstone box here with the redstone stuff, and then we're going to need dispensers, some chests to collect everything in, and of course every dye, so we can dye the sheep that we need, hopefully. And I have enough sheep as well to get at least one inside of these units. So I'm going to start off with building the first one, and then we can yeah, where are the box with my glass? I seem to have forgotten it somewhere. Yeah, because it's not there. And I don't have... No? We'll go over to the boat then and look for our glass box. I have maybe... Yeah, here it is. I forgot it down where I was dyeing the glass. So yeah, back to it. And we'll put that down as well, and then we're going to start off, and I put them not in the regular order that I usually do, because it didn't look very good, because you sort of cut off the colors in the row that I want to have them, so I've done a little bit of a mock-up instead. So we're going to start off with the black, and we're going to need dispensers, we're going to need some redstone, observer, and that should be everything. Maybe a building block, but that we could get maybe after. So first things first, I want to... Yeah, we can have this here. So first, observer there to notice when sheep eat from the grass, and then we need a dispenser, of course, to dispense everything out of there. And then we need to encapsulate our sheep inside of here, and it's of course going to be too tall high here, so we can we can make everything so the sheep doesn't escape. I mean, that's what I was after. And I'm going to make this a little bit more colorful, so as soon as I've gotten wool from the sheep, I'm going to put wool down here, and I'm going to, I think, put carpet on top of there. So we'll see how that works. And I just realized I need to get something else. To get this to work, we need to put hopper minecarts here. Where the grass is going to be, because otherwise we can't collect anything from this. So I'm going to do that a little bit fast. We're going to take a short break so I can prepare for having minecarts and so forth, and we'll see each other after that. And welcome back from that shorter break. I've been a little bit busy now between the break and now, and started off making everything, so we are on our way. What I had to do because of how I'm going to pick this up is because I'm going to use hoppers and then just use it to deposit it in this chest, and one chest for each color, I think, because usually I have a sort of central storage system with around a couple of double chests going in the middle here or something that collects everything, but it's very hard to find and so forth, and maybe if you need one specific color you have to go look through the chest and you don't know how much you have of each color. So that's why I've decided to use a little bit more of a not upgrade, but maybe a different sorting system, so to speak, where I instead use a chest for each unit, so or each color, whatever you prefer. And I realized it's going to turn to night, and then it's going to become very dark in here, so we need to lit up a little bit. I'm going to decorate this place, of course, as well, but for the moment we need to focus on the upper part here. And what I've done is that on top of each of these hoppers I've put a minecart, and on that minecart, or in that minecart, we are going to push a grass block down, and that's where our sheep are going to stand. I've also put in the mechanism for the redstone path, except for the redstone dust, because while I'm working on this, the observers are going to react to when I update blocks and so forth, and I don't want them to trigger and sound a lot. So we're going to wait with the redstone paths. That's going to be this way. But first we're going to need to start off with making this. So here, then we need to get a piston there. One wrong again. I have needed to get take away the rail. So now, no, yeah. So now it worked. Great. So this is what I'm going to have to do for each of these units. So we're going to go around here, take away that. Put in one of these, and I'm going to have to move around a little bit in here, so we do that. Maybe put that there, get a right side turn there, and we're on our way. I'm going to continue this, of course. It's going to be a very short moment in between here, but I wanted to show the progress before going off the rest, because now I'm mostly going to build up the walls, get in the sheeps, and then we can continue on. So it's going to be a little bit more of progress behind camera, so we'll wait and see what happens after this. See each other soon. And we're back once again, and I'm in the process of putting down the redstone. which is very easy. I've of course built this so it's a little bit more redstone savvy. So we, instead of having, for example, having every one of these units on one side, I'm putting them on each side of here, so I can use the same redstone dust for both components. A little bit similar to what I've done with the sugarcane farm there, with having water on both, or having the farm on both sides of the water to save water. So yeah, that's we can see that it is on its way and working. So what happens is that when the observer detects that a sheep is eating the grass, or the grass is updated, it sends a signal, and that signal of course goes through the block into the redstone dust and then into the dispenser. For the moment dispensers are empty, but I'm soon going to put in some shears to shear off the sheep. And while we can fly over and get some iron, we can also think of how to design that place, because of course I need to make it a little bit better, and I think I'm going to put some carpet on top of there, but yeah, we can take one stack. The things that get over we can just put into the system. So no, not very good place to be. Oh, it was the good place. I sadly fall down that side before, and that's where everything important is, so not very good to be. So yeah, scissors, and we will only need 16 for the moment, so I'm just going to put in 16, and we'll see how many that is for. So we're going to put this in, and hopefully I've done this right now, so we should see some shearing of sheep in just a few moments. Can of course put in more shears, but I feel like this is a very efficient farm, with it having sort of having such a large space to get grass to grow on these blocks, so it's very fast usually. I've done this farm a couple of times now on different worlds and so forth, and yeah, it seems to be good to work, and I always need to make a very large thing about it. So yeah, redstone paths in here, and then we can look for there, because one small regular chest is not going to cut it, I think, by being down here. So we have started with it, and I'm going to upgrade it. So instead of having just this small space, we now have a diamond chest, and it looks like it's a double regular chest, but it's not. It's actually four times as big. So very good. And like I showed you last episode, I have a lot of these diamond upgrades because I counted very wrong when I was going to build my sorting system. So or storage system, I mean. So we can use this for this. Here we have some stone as well, so I'm going to have to go and look for everything that should not be in these chests. But it seems to be working, because we have gotten wool from each of the colors, and in some of them we have more more of the other stuff as well. I don't go down here for each and every time I lose an item to the hoppers. Instead, I decide to do that when I've gathered a lot of items down there. So, as you can see, our sheep are sheared, and they are sadly going to be sheared for a long time, because as soon as as they eat and get wool, the mechanism start and they get it away again. So yeah, it's not the very most nicest maybe, but it's of course Minecraft, so yeah, it should be working. Now then, we have to make this look a little bit better, and I'm going to look and see. We have 6 of each color in this thing, so maybe 3 here, 3 there, and we would have needed 12 of everything. Then it would have been good to cover everything up that I wanted to. But yeah, we can make some more colored glass for that. And yeah, I also to you who noticed that I talked about putting wool on the bottom layer here, I of course forgot that you can't have or you could have wool down here, but then the process of making grass is not going to work very well, because we wouldn't have any grass blocks that would send the grass to that middle block there. So I'm going to need to use glass on the bottom here, but we could probably use carpets on top to make it a little bit more colorful looking from above. That's what I want. So I'm going to start off with that. We'll see each other after a time lapse, I think. And welcome back from that time lapse. Our sheep farm is done and very ready to go. It has been working while I've been working down here, making it look pretty as well and not just a hole in the ground. And yeah, we have some of it, some a little bit more, and some of them are a little bit less. But around a stack or less or more have been produced so far. And it's very efficient, I think, because we have almost taken none of the durability, so it's going to fill up our chest pretty soon, I think. Otherwise, I'm also feeling very, very proud of this design. It looks a bit nice, and I'm usually very hesitant to try and get all the colors in here, because it can get very, very messy when you use all the colors. But this time it worked, because we have all the colors in the floor to mark up where the wool is coming from that color. So it worked very well, I think. The only thing I didn't manage to fix was this asymmetrical sort of thing. We would have needed to have one row here with this height of floor more to make it as symmetrical as it could be, but then I would have needed to sort of scamp on these corners, because for some reason they are not completely even or something like that. It couldn't work with the design I had for the walls, so I decided to scamp on this here, and I don't think it's going to bother me very much. Maybe it bother you more, but yeah. So mostly it is for getting down here, and it's getting a little bit nicer than the just stone walls in all the different colors. So yeah, and we also have this neat little entrance going down, and the sheep of course on top. So I'm going to try and move the sheep pen here. I'm still going to have this sheep here because I probably will need them for something, maybe something else over time, maybe breed up some more to get the food and so forth to trade with my butchers or something. But yeah, that's for future things to think about. For now, we are going to actually finish off this episode, so I turn to you as custom dictates, and I hope that you have enjoyed the episode. If you did, consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss future episodes. And if you don't, leave a like and a comment instead, and tell me what you liked about the episode. Otherwise, we are going to say goodbye for now.